Hey guys, welcome back to today's video. Hope you guys are all having a great day. Before I get started with this video, make sure you guys give this video a huge like, comment down below, and subscribe if you haven't already. So today I'm going to be talking about one of the mysterious things that have. Before we get to the video, I want to ask you guys, what have you guys experienced in your neighborhood? Like growing up, like did you guys have friends, or did you never really talk to your neighbors, or this and that, or were you just that type of person that would just stay in your house all the time and just run to the mailbox and then run back in and just like hopefully no one sees you and just whatever, like introverts? Not that I have anything like that. My whole life I've never really talked to my neighbors that much. I mean when I was little, I would ride my bike and I would encounter other kids riding their bikes. We would meet and then we talk, and that's how I made my friends. There was this one particular lady that the whole neighborhood was very fond of, and she was like super nice and etc. She was like a nice elderly lady, and a lot of people knew her. And so as the years go by in my neighborhood, this is my new neighborhood. The last video I talked about my old childhood memories, but my old neighborhood, this is the new one. So this lady, she would be, I don't know, she knew the whole neighborhood. Like she would invite people to her house and parties and whatnot. Like she threw a lot of parties. Like I've never seen an elderly lady throw that many parties in her life. So yeah, a lot of people would go to her house every weekend, party, and she was very friendly with the entire neighborhood, and etc. Then one day there was this knock on my door. That there was this, and then so everybody knew each other, kind of, like I would say so. And then there was this knock on my door from one of my neighbors, and she gave me a random paper and telling me this crazy news that there is a bad guy that lived 2 doors next to my house, and he was on probation, and that he had a couple of charges of homicides, and he murdered homicides, and I think that he was a serial killer or something like that. And he also was a pedophile too, a pervert. And so I was like shocked. I was a bit scared because he lived pretty close to me, and I was like, oh no, should we move out, etc., etc. So one of my parents, my dad, he put like cameras around the house to make sure that nothing bad ever happens to our house, so no one ever comes near our house, and etc. So a few weeks go by, my friends and I, we were hanging out around the neighborhood, and I would see that guy from the picture, which was like an old man. He looked like he was in his 50s or so, and he was acting all friendly and nice, but at the same time he was watching us, like weirdly, like watching me and my friends riding on the bikes and etc. Like, okay, let's go to the next block so we can get away from this guy. And then I noticed, and then a couple days go by. A couple days later, I was helping I was taking out the trash out of my house. I was like minding my own business. Then I would see that same guy helping that elderly lady with her groceries, and as he would go back in to the house, as he would go inside the house with this lady helping the groceries, I heard a scream from that house. So I ran to the house, but before I did that, after I heard a scream from that house, I ran to the house to see what was going on. I didn't go in, like I didn't intrude what was happening with the man and the lady, but I went to look to make sure everything was okay from a distance. But she had just dropped something, which was like a vase or something, and then the old man, that bad guy that I saw from the picture, he was just helping her clean up the mess. So I was like, oh okay, everything's fine. So I went back to my house, I took out the trash, and I went on with my day. And then the next day, I remember this old guy. He was driving around. So then when I told one of my friends about this. I went to one of my friend's house and I told him about the story about what happened with this old man and how he was, what his plan was with this lady, like why was he helping her and etc, etc. Maybe he was trying to be a good person, you know, change, because after people do a certain amount of bad things in their life, they want to turn a new leaf. They want to be happy. They want to be a nicer person now. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe. And then one of my friends was skeptical. Was like, no. And one of my friends and I, we were like very interested in, and we wanted to see what his house looked like. We wanted to see what he was like. And so we were like stupid brave kids, and we decided to go at night. And we went on our bikes and went at night and we went to see what his house looked like. And we looked through the windows and like it was really weird. Like his house was like old class, like everything was dark, and it was like it had a lot of antique stuff. And we thought he was probably a hoarder because he had a lot of like animal statues, a lot of artifacts, and a lot of really expensive stuff. I wonder how a serial killer could afford that. But yeah, he had a lot of cool things. And then after we were walking, and we were like literally right in his window, and he got up out of nowhere and he looked at us, and we ran back to our houses, and we never spoke of that day again. And yeah, that was one of the scariest moments ever. But we saw his house and we saw what he looked like in person and etc. Like, but that guy was yelling at us like from the inside to go away. We're not, and everybody, and then that's when me and my friends ran back home, and yeah, we never talked to that man again. So the next weekend, I had a pretty good breakfast with my family. I played with my dog and etc. And then I heard a bunch of sirens and police cars and ambulances. There was a lot around this. I heard a lot of police cars and ambulances in my neighborhood, so I went outside of the house to check out what it was, and I saw that the ambulance and police cars were surrounded by that old lady's house, and I saw the old lady being dragged out of the house I saw the old lady being dragged out of the house on those beds by the ambulance, and it looked like she had a pretty big wound on her chest, like there was blood everywhere. So, and I think she might have died, I don't know. And then a lot of people were telling the police officers that it was probably that serial killer that lived 2 houses down the road. And they all went, and his entire house was empty. There was no cars in the garage. There was nothing in the house, and everything was clean, wiped out. And it smelled like bleach, and everything was perfectly wiped out. And it turns out that this man had vanished. He left town, and he probably never came back. And they never found the guy that murdered this poor lady. So everyone mourned, and yeah, that was the story of how this lady died, and how a mysterious, creepy guy came onto my life. And yeah, and then the next day I woke up and it was all a fake story. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you guys want to see more videos like this, I will see you guys in the next one. If you guys really believe the story, comment down below, because I thought it was really cool and interesting. But yeah, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.